Hello everybody, good morning from Robert Radford here in Bristol in the southwest of England. Thank you for following the games and subscribing. We've reached roughly about 26 subscribers now, and I've had thousands of views from around the world, various places. USA are the main contributors to that. Thank you very much, America. England, of course, and places like India, Russia even, and one or two others. So thank you for watching. I hope you're enjoying the games. And I also wish to report that I've almost made it to 150 videos now. So we're doing well. I've still got more to come, so there's some more to come yet. And I've added the arena chess games, which are recent games I'm playing. They're on in the playlist as under arena chess. Also, there are many games, many games, which I put on here right at the very beginning. When was it? In around about Christmas Eve onwards. And a lot of the early ones have not been seen by people because they've only been following the later games. So if you wish to see those, you'll find them on the playlist. And many of them are cracking games, believe me, they are some of my best games. Now, today I'm bringing to you a guy named LLoyd Beckford. He played for the Harambee Chess Club, which was an African chess club in the centre of Bristol, what's known as St. Paul's. And that's where the name Harambee comes from. It's an African word. Not sure what it means. I did find out once. I think it's to do with community or something. And Lloyd was probably the strongest player they ever produced. He peaked around about October 24 with a 1767 rating, which is a really decent rating for Bristol League Chess. And him and another player, Devon Thomas, who also had a similar rating for a while, were the two best players they ever had, no doubt about it. A little story about Devon Thomas. He and I and two others were on a one-day tournament, a rapid tournament down at Teignmouth in Devon, which is down on the south coast. And while we were playing down there, it was a decent tournament, not too bad. And on our return journey, the driver, which was one of the players, I won't mention his name, but he was messing around with the electric seat and caused us to have a crash. And we spun round in the middle of the motorway, I think it was once or twice, before slamming into the central barrier, facing back up down the way we come to Devon. And cars were flying past us at high speed, but we were pretty safe because we were tucked right against the barrier, jammed against it, just about off the edge of the lane, which would have been the outside lane, the fast lane. So as soon as it was clear, we managed to get clear of the car. Two of us went and found for a breakdown to come, and the others made their own way out. So that day was a very eventful day. Could have been my last day on earth, but it wasn't. Otherwise, I would have been here to make all these wonderful chess videos for you. So, let's get on with the game. Devon is white in this game, and I'm playing black. And don't forget, he's a very inventive, creative player, and he's full of little tricks and traps and things. So, Devon began with d4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, d5. This is known as a Grunfeld defense, which is a hypermodern type defense. If he goes pawn takes, knight takes, and then usually it's e4, knight takes c3, b takes c3, and then bishop g7 to attack that a1, h8 diagonal pinning the pawn to the castle on a1. So, but he didn't take it. He played knight f3, c6. Then he brought his e-pawn out to e3. I played the bishop g7 and queen b3. This is a Botvinnik line against the Grunfeld, which was played when he played Bobby Fischer in a kind of a friendly match where the two met for the only time, which ended in a draw. I castled, bishop d3, b6, castle. I played d takes c, bishop takes c, bishop a6. Now this is what I played, so that I guarantee I could swap bishops off, and then that would take a big chunk of his attacking force out of the game. So he played knight into e5, looking at again a third square, a third attack on the f7 pawn. So I swap bishops. Queen takes bishop. Queen c6 to protect that important c6 pawn. He played a3. Not sure why he played a3, but he played a3. e6, bishop, I see now, bishop d2. So he wants to move the knight and then try and get bishop b4 in, skewering my queen and rook. So I brought that rook across to c8. Now, here's the first time he played something tricky. If I go pawn take, he's got queen takes rook check, and he's won the exchange. So I'm not going to take that knight. I'll drop back to d8. So he dropped his knight back to c3, because otherwise I can take it. And then I brought the knight back, because I want that knight off of e5. It's dangerous. And he dropped it back to f3. So I'm a lot happier now. So I attacked the queen with b5. Queen went back to e2. So all his pieces have retreated from the centre of the board. Knight b6. Got a nice square I can come into on c4. Of course, he can play b3 if he wishes to stop that, but he didn't. He played rook to d1 from a1. Then I brought the other knight out to d7. Knight from c3 to e4. a5. I'm planning to try and get the pawn to a4 so that I'll have a concrete place to put my knight on a great outpost on c4, and he won't be able to kick it out with b3. He's gone back to g3 with the knight. He did the right thing probably. So I played the knight now. I should have pushed the pawn on, I think, on a5, a4 first, so he can't play b3. Bishop c2, knight to b6, e4. So he's challenging the centre a bit more now. Queen to e7. Of course, if he did play b3 on the last move, I could have took the pawn on a3 and then pushed the b pawn on. So it would have been, it's probably best that he didn't play b3. He's brought the knight from f6 back to d2. Knight takes knight, queen takes knight, and then knight again from b6 into c4, attacking the queen. Queen e2, rook d8, and he's played e5. That's a good move because he wants to get his knight into e4, and he's got a lovely two squares there on d6 and f6 where he can drop his knight in at some point. But I'm doing okay. We're about evens. Now I've played the rook up to d5 because I want to double those rooks, put some, and try and drive the bishop away from c3 and win that pawn. He's moved his rook to c1. Now I play c5. Pawn takes pawn. Bishop takes pawn on e5. b3. Bishop takes b3. Why did I do that? I'm trying to think. Shouldn't I have just taken a pawn on a3? I'm not sure. Anyway, pawn takes knight. Rook takes pawn on c5. Rook takes bishop. I don't know why I played some of these funny moves, but I did at the time. I see better moves nowadays, looking at it. So I doubled my rooks on the c file. He played his other rook to c1. So let's have a look at the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm a clear pawn up, but I'm a piece down. I should never have gone a piece down. That was crazy just now. I could have played a lot better moves than the ones I saw. I don't know why I played what I did. I knew back then, but I don't know now. Queen across to c7. So I'm in trouble in this game. He's attacking the rook, so I'm playing queen to e5, pinning the knight to the queen. And he played queen to f3, stopping me from playing f5 and pinning the knight to the queen. So I've gone rook takes pawn. He didn't take the rook, he's played g3. Rook takes rook, rook takes rook, rook takes rook, knight takes rook. b4. Knight to e4. So I've got a little bit of hope here, as I've got a passed pawn with the 2 pawns against 1 on the queen side, but he should be able to deal with that, no problem. But I pushed the pawn to b3 because by playing his knight into e4, if he takes that pawn, he drops a knight. So that gives me a real possibility of getting somewhere now. Knight to f6, king to g7, knight back to g4, hitting my queen. It's hard not to stop him from getting perpetual check if I come off of that diagonal. So I played queen a1 check and he went king g2. Now if I take that a pawn, he's going to check me on f6. And he's definitely got a draw. Then if he went knight into e5, he's going to hit me on f7. It's going to be nasty. Anyway, I decided to push the pawn on, try and get my queen. He played queen f6 check, king back to f8. Now he decided to go knight to h6 and he's threatening checkmate. What do I do about that? There's only one thing I can do now. Queen check on h1, king h3, and then I was able to bring my queen back to b7 and stop the mate. But he did something crafty here. He played knight takes c7. It's a nightmare because I can queen, but then he'll win one of the queens. But in fact, it could be nasty after knight d6. The only thing I can do is queen takes knight and then he'll take the pawn. Yeah, and then he took the pawn. I played a check on f5. He went back to g2. And I checked him again on d5. And he went f3. My king's too open to win this probably with the pawn, but if I could just get my queen and a pawn near his queen, he'd probably have to swap. So I played e5, g4, g5, king g3, h3, queen check on b8, king g7. Now let's get his queen much nearer to my king. And what am I going to do? I brought my queen to d4. He could check me to death now, I think. So he played queen check on e7, king g8, Queen e5 check, King g7, Queen back to a2. I don't know why he did that, but anyway, I suppose he's doing that to just stop me being able to keep getting. I almost got a checkmate there. Queen down to g1 check. That's why I did it, to stop. So here, I made a mistake. I should have swapped queens, and I think I'm winning. I should. Well, we're drawing 4 pawns each. Yeah, it's probably drawn. So I kept trying to keep it going with queen to e3, queen to f2, queen to f4 check, king back to g2, king g5, king g6, queen. Gonna drop a pawn in there. Queen to b6 check, king g7, queen takes pawn. Now I have to go for it. Try and push for it now as best as I can. e4. Pawn takes pawn, queen takes pawn, check, king g3, king e3 check, king g2, and that's where I'm offered a draw. He offered a draw, and or I offered a draw, and then we accepted a draw. But I let that pawn go on the a file, which was careless. So I almost lost the game. So anyway, it was a drawn game. Difficult game in many ways. A very lively opponent, always ready to pounce when he could. But when I look at that game and I consider how I messed up and lost the piece to begin with, that shouldn't have happened, and I wouldn't have allowed that to have happened today. But then again, we evolve and become different. We become a bit wiser and more experienced the more games we play and the older we get. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the game. That was LLoyd Beckford, strongest player that club ever produced, and he proved it today, I think. So here is a picture of my opponent, LLoyd Beckford, the guy I've just showed you this game. He's playing. This is the Congress we played in at the time, but he was playing a different opponent. So I thought I'd just show you that. I like to show the pictures of my opponents if I can, because after all, they're not just names, they're real people. So thank you. See you tomorrow, hopefully.